Hello and good afternoon to everybody. My name is Stacia Tyler and I'm about to run through a training video or a training seminar on the app. If you guys have any questions, please type them into the question area. Please only ask questions that are pertaining to the app at this time. We did have a portal training video that we've already done, and we will be doing the admin training tomorrow. Without further ado, when you log into our app, this is the screen that you'll see. You quickly can see whether you're connected or disconnected by this button or this bar, as well as this icon. This icon can be in 3 different states. It can look like it does now, letting you know that you are disconnected. It can be flashing, which lets you know that you are in a connecting state, or it can look like a radio tower with waves coming off of it, letting you know that you are connected. I'm going to go through the icons up here at the top. This is for logout. This is for a full sync. It does do partial sync every 5 minutes is the default, but it can be set on the portal to either 3 or 1 minute as well. And this lets you know that you have pending edit requests. So if there's any edits that are made from the portal, when you log in, a pop-up will come up. When you log out, a pop-up will come up. And when you also certify a log, it will also pop up letting you know that you have pending edits. But if I click on this icon, it pulls up my pending edits that I have. I can either accept or reject these. We'll go ahead and we'll accept both of them. And accept this one. Okay, and you can see now the icon has disappeared, letting me know that I have taken care of all the pending edits that are sitting out there for me. You can also quickly check to make sure that you are logged in as yourself. So in case you couldn't remember if you logged in or if maybe somebody had forgotten to log out of the tablet, you can quickly look to see that you are, that your name is listed here. Here is where you can switch equipment. So let's say we dropped this trailer off last night and we don't currently have a trailer. We click in this area, it pulls up the trailer, the switch equipment screen. To get rid of a trailer, you click on the X and then you click switch. Every time you do switch equipment, it's going to prompt you to do a vehicle inspection. I'm not going to do one now, so I'm going to click no, but if I click yes, it brings you right to the DVIR screen. But let's say you needed to add a trailer. We click in that same area. It pulls up the switch equipment screen. We'll go ahead and add 404. Click the add button and then click switch. Again, it prompts me to do a vehicle inspection. And like I said, we will get to that shortly. To change your duty status, you click in this area. For most of you, only the top 4 will apply. If you have oil and gas exception, you will get this 5th line. So we're going to go ahead and go on duty, not driving. And a pop-up appears. Location will automatically populate. Unfortunately, I don't get a location fix in the building I'm in, but outside as well as in the truck, you should get a location. Also, odometer will automatically populate for you when you're connected to an ELD. Notes and reasons are optional. You'll also notice these are optional things to give to drivers. So personal use, if you use your car or use the truck to drive home and to the office or terminal, that would be personal use. Or if you move the vehicles around within the yard, that would be considered yard use. And this is where you would select either one of those 2. And then click OK. As you can see, this has turned green as well as this, letting me know I have plenty of time left until my violation. So whether that's time until break or time until end of shift. These 2 areas will turn yellow when you have less than 3 hours, and they will turn red when you have less than 1 hour left remaining until your violation. Let's say it's close to time and I'm ready to start my break. I click on start break, say yes, that I want to start my break, and it will start counting down from that 30 minutes, which is the minimum amount of time required to constitute a break. Now we're going to go over some of the the different buttons we have down below. The first one is Recap. This shows you your last 8 days. It shows you how many hours you have available today, how many you've worked today, and how many you have available tomorrow as of this moment. This will also show you if you have any resets. So your 34-hour reset or your 24-hour reset, depending on which exceptions you've chosen, if you have chosen any, will show up in this list as well. Along the same lines, we're going to jump down to Shift Cycle. This shows you your 4 clocks to let you know how much drive, shift, cycle, and then this is either time until violation or time remaining on break, depending on what state that you're currently in. This is also an option for our lock screen. So once you drive over 5 miles an hour in ELD mode, a lock screen drops down. And our default is just a big digital clock that tells you time remaining till violation. But if you do like the 4 clocks, there is a way that I'll get to when I get to the settings area later. And I'll show you how to change that to the 4 clocks versus the big digital clock that's time remaining till violation. The next section we'll go into is Roadside Inspection. This is a section you'll have to go into if you get pulled over by an officer. In order for the officer to see the logs, they can ask for them in 2 ways. The first way, they can ask for them to see them on the tablet itself. To do that, you click Start Review, and it shows you your current day. All the pertinent information they need is up here at the top. It lets you know the grid chart here. If we scroll down, it shows you all of the transitions that have happened throughout the day, and also if there's any edited entries in ELD mode, they will show up with an asterisk. If they need to see days in the past, you click on this arrow up here at the top, so we can go back a couple days in the past. This is also password protected. This is to protect the drivers so that the officer is not going through the rest of the app. In roadside inspection mode, we do not call out violations. So the officer will have to find it. They'll have to do the math to figure out if there is a violation that's currently pertaining to the driver or has been over the last 7 days plus the current day. The second way in ELD mode that you can send the logs to the driver or to the officer would be via a data transfer. We do support all 4 different ways to transmit the logs via Bluetooth, USB, email, or web services. The next section we'll go into is options. This is where you can do a whole bunch of stuff within the app. So if you ever have a question, where can I find, chances are it's in the options section. You also notice that we do have things in multiple locations. Switch equipment we have in the most locations. It's actually located in 4 locations. They all are identical. It's just try to make it for ease of use for you, the driver. So this pulls up the same screen that I showed you from the home screen. Shipping docs. This is where you can enter in a bill of lading or manifest number and a shipper and commodity. Remarks. This is where you can enter in a note. Location will automatically populate for you, assuming a GPS fix. Off-road and tow load are available here, but they're also available on the lock screen. And then you can enter in a remark down here, any note that you want to have associated with your log. Log on CoDriver and switch CoDriver are used for team driving. This will just pull up our login screen. And this down here, switch CoDriver, will bring up all the drivers that are currently logged in. And you would just click to switch between them. You have to enter your password in. I'm not going to switch because I like to use this driver for demo purposes. Data or game time. This is something that you should check every morning after you log in, before you go on duty or do anything. Make sure that your shift has reset. We do calculate it down to the fraction of a second. So if you happen to go on duty 1 second early, you're going to be in violation shortly. So just so that you can stay out of violation. Double check and make sure this is NA shift reset complete, and then you're good to go for the day. The next section we have is exceptions. Here are all the exceptions that we currently support. The top 3 are something that will stay with you just for your shift, where everything else from the driver's salesperson on down will stay with you until you go in and remove it from yourself. Data transfer. This is the same thing that we saw on the roadside inspection screen. We just have it here as well. And the last thing we have is document. So to use documents, you click on document, you click add at the top. It will pull up the camera. You go ahead and you take a picture. You click save. And then you choose a document type. So we do have 4 different plus other. So bill of lading, accident photo, citation, and scale ticket, or other. So we'll choose other this time. You can enter in a reference number and or notes if you so choose, and then click OK at the bottom. Now this will automatically send back to the portal, assuming connectivity, or the next time that you do have connectivity. And our last button is return back to the home screen. The next button we have is our log button. This is where you will certify your logs. This is also the area you would go into edit logs. So we'll go ahead and we'll certify last Thursday. I click on certify. I agree that it's true and correct. It then generates a PDF, lets me know that it's voted successful. It prompts me to email it. It is not required or needed to email it off per regulations, because everything is housed back on the portal. But depending on the situation with your company, you might need to email it. I would check with your fleet manager on the process they would like you to use. But I'm going to click no for now. We'll go ahead and go into today. You can see that there's some basic information here. If you click anywhere on this grid chart, it will pull up the edit screen. So let's say that during this off-duty time of 2 hours and 57 minutes, I was actually driving. So let's click on the edit button. We'll click on driving. We can move that if we need to. So if I needed to actually say that at this time I was driving, I need to select a reason. So we'll say incorrect status selected, and then click save. And now it should show as driving time, as you can see up here on the grid chart. The next section we have is DVIR. So if we click on DVIR, we can choose whether it's a pre, post, or ad hoc inspection, whether it's being done by the driver, mechanic, or somebody else. And we also have switch equipment here. This is going to bring up the same screen that I've showed you on the options menu as well as the home screen. So if you get to this area, you look at what you have down here and say, oh, wait, no, I switched equipment. You can switch it right here from the screen. This form can be pre-populated for you if it's been set up that way in the portal. If it hasn't, it will look like this. You click on the area that says select form. You go through the list and you would select a form that you'd like to use. Then you would click inspect. Now I'm currently off duty because I said I was on my break, and you need to be on duty in order to do an inspection. If I click no, it's just going to bring me to this grayed out screen in the background. But if I click yes, it's going to put me on duty, and then it's going to bring me to the DVIR screen. And you may notice here that we do have a triangle that has appeared and some notes here that the repairs were made and that the headlights were replaced. This information comes from the portal. So every time that there is a defect, the next time this truck or trailer is used with the same form, it will show up with the triangle, as well as any notes that might have been put in from the portal. We also have a concept of pass all button. You might not all see this. This is optional to enable. If I click any of these once, or if I click the pass all button, it'll give you a thumbs up on everything. Oops. Sorry, I clicked something by accident. But let's say that there was an issue with the doors. So we'll click on the doors. It gives me a thumbs down, and the triangle appears. If I then click on the triangle, I can choose whether it's a low, medium, or high priority issue. This will pull up the camera. So if I click on the camera, I can take a picture of the defect to give the mechanic more detailed information as to what might be going on. And then we also have a report. So I can click here on the report function. It shows you your picture down below. If you want to take more pictures, you can click on the camera here. We also have speech to text. Doors won't close. And it will automatically type out for you what you say into the tablet. And then we can click OK. Once you have completed your DVIR, you'll click the Finish. And it will then bring you here to the Finish screen. It gives you some basic information at the top. If you have any general comments for the piece of equipment that you just inspected, truck needs an overhaul, dent in the side, something that doesn't pertain to one of the inspection points that you have already pointed out, you would enter that information in here. And then you need to select one of these three things. Defects corrected is typically used by the mechanic. Condition satisfactory or condition unsatisfactory needs to be chosen. Since the doors won't close, we'll choose unsatisfactory this time. If this is the first time you're using the app and you haven't certified anything yet, you might need to create your signature. You can do that here, like we're clicking Change Signature. It might say Create if there's nothing there. Or once there is a signature already captured, you can click Finish DVIR. You certify that it is correct and true. It then generates a PDF. It brings you back to the DVIR screen. Now from this screen, you can see that we do have a certified DVIR. This can be in two different states. It can either be in progress or certified. If we click these three buttons off here to the right-hand side, it gives you three options. For certified, you can either email or view. So if you're walking around after you certified a DVIR and say, oh, I missed that, I need to add that to my DVIR. You can go back and view it, change what you need to change, and then recertify. If it's in progress, you can either view it or you can remove it. We also have DVIR history here. So this will show you your last 30 days of DVIRs that have been done on your pieces of equipment that you have pulled up. So here shows you all of the DVIRs that have been done on Optimus. There's a couple things I would like to show you here from the navigation menu. So hours of service, DVIR, switch equipment, roadside inspections, and documents are all located in multiple locations within the app. Fuel receipts, if you are using our IFTA service, this is where you would go in to enter your fuel receipts. You go in, you click Add at the top. It pulls up the camera. Take a picture of the receipt. Click Save. And then it pulls up a different screen than what we saw from the document screen. Reference number and notes are optional, but all the rest of the information will need to be filled out. I would like to touch on a couple more things. We have help and support. So this is more like frequently asked questions than it is a user's guide for the app. So like, how do I switch equipment? How do I edit my log? How do I enter a fuel receipt? All the different sections are called out for you. Let's open up main dashboard. There's a few things I'd like to touch on in this area. You see that it is available in both portrait and landscape. It also has a nighttime mode. So when you're using the app at night, it will automatically switch into this mode, so it's less glaring on your eyes when you're using the app later in the evening. We already went over the pending edit request. The other icons that can show up here are malfunctions and data diagnostics. So an M or a D can show up in this area. If you do have an M up there, you need to go in and clear it as soon as possible. So you click on the M in the status bar. It would pull up any malfunctions that you currently have. You would go in and you would clear them out. Typically when a malfunction occurs, the tablet will tell you to revert back to paper logs. Once you clear the malfunction, it will start collecting data again, and that should fix the issue. If you continue to get malfunctions, I would talk to your fleet manager and let them know I'm getting malfunctions every day. You know, what is going on, and have them look into it more deeply. I would also like to show you the connection icon. So this is what it looks like when it's connected. This is what it looks like when it's disconnected. And flashing between these two icons is what it looks like when it's in a connecting state. And the last thing I'd like to touch upon is under settings, and then under hours of service at the top. This is where you can see all of your driver information. This is where you can change your password. This is where you can create your signature by clicking on the pencil up here and then using your finger on the pad or the screen of the tablet or phone. You can double check your carrier and terminal information. And then double check your country, so whether it's US or Canada. And then your driving rules, so whether it is the interstate or any of the intra-state rules that we do support. Down here is where you can choose your lock screen. So time remaining till violation is our default, or we have the 4 clocks. When I clicked on shift cycle, those 4 clocks appeared, and that's what can also be for your lock screen. The last thing down here is if you plan on emailing out your logs or your DVIRs, you can pre-populate the 2 fields for that email that you send out. So that can be entered here, or you can ask for your fleet manager to enter that in for you on the portal. Shannon, that's really all I had. Do we have any questions that have come through?
There's just a couple.
Okay.
Okay. How is certifying logs done when drivers are on vacation? Do they have to go through each log?
So if a driver goes on vacation, you don't have to certify logs that don't have any status changes within them. So during that time, they should be off duty the entire time. So they would not need to certify those logs.
There appears in the user's guide a waiting status. Is this something that is recently active, or we need to turn it on in the admin or app portal?
Okay, so I did touch upon that a little bit, but if we go back to, are you talking about the well site? Is that what they asked about?
Yeah, it was about 10 minutes ago.
Okay, well, we'll assume that it was waiting at well site. This is when you have the oil field exception enabled. There is a 5th line on their grid chart, and that is waiting at well site. I just always have everything enabled within my app so that I can show all the different pieces we have. If you do not, and that does not apply to you, then you will only see these top 4. You will not see this 5th line.
Great. How can I enable pass all button while performing DVIR?
That would be on the portal. And if that person wants to contact me, I can help them get to that.
All right. And we currently only see email logs as our only option to transfer data within the driver app. Is there a reason we aren't seeing any other methods?
It automatically sends it all back to the portal. So you don't have to transfer it. And anyway, it's all there on the portal. They can export that. They can run reports against it. All that information automatically transmits back to the portal.
That's it all I see so far.
Okay. Well, that's all I had for you guys today. I hope this was informative, and I hope this will help with your training. Everybody have a great rest of your afternoon, and we will speak soon.